Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is going to be about how to read tarot cards, and this is lesson number 1. So I recommend that you start with a deck like this. This is the Universal Weight Tarot deck. I recommend that you get some version of the Rider Waite Tarot. This is Universal Weight. It's the most common one, and it's a good place to start. So when you get your cards, go ahead and take them out. I've been reading cards since I was 16. I'm going to show you how I do it. The way I do it is unique. There are 4 suits in your deck of tarot cards. You have the suit of wands. Here's our Knight of Wands right here. All of the wands have these little wands in them. There's the 4 of wands. You can see the 4 of them. There's the 5 of wands. You can see all 5 wands. You have the suit of swords. There's our Knight of Swords. There's our 2 of Swords. You have the suit of cups. Here's our King of Cups. Love this guy. He's a super sweet dude. And then you have the suit of Pentacles. Here's the Pentacles. There we go. Ace of Pentacles. Aces are very cool. Okay. Now, apart from that, you have those 4 suits. You have everything from ace up to king. You have an ace. You have a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you have a page. Then you have a queen and a king. You also have the Major Arcana cards. Here's a few Major Arcanas. Here's the Tower. Here's the Moon. Probably heard of the Death card. There's the Chariot. That's a Major Arcana. If it's not a suit, it's Major Arcana. Okay? So Major Arcana, Minor Arcana. So what's the difference when we're reading? Well, when we're reading, the Major Arcana symbolizes major life events. In your reading, the Major Arcana cards are the most important cards to look at. They're the things that aren't affected by free will. They're the things in your story that are more important and less changeable, okay? Your Minor Arcana are more changeable, not as important, things that can be changed by your free will, okay? What are we doing when we read tarot? What are we doing? Well, we're telling a story to ourselves. It's one part of the self speaking to another part of the self. It's not really that magical, and you don't even need to believe in magic to read tarot. You can just believe in psychology and read tarot. I do believe in magic. I think everything is important. I believe that there are no accidents. And I think that everything is represented everywhere. I think that thoughts are represented in things, and that's what I believe. But you don't have to believe that to read tarot. You can just believe that we have a deep self that needs to hear a story in order to be recognized. It's the same thing as like when you read fiction and you relate to a character. Same thing as doing a good tarot reader can sort of pick out things that resonate with you, and you pick out things that resonate, and then you get a piece of you that's heard and felt that maybe wasn't revealed to you before. Tarot reveals the self, the deep self to you. Okay? So that's what tarot is. For that reason, it's better not to ask yes and no questions. It's not like flipping a coin. It's like telling a story. It's better to ask open-ended questions, questions that can allow a story to come out. Okay? So when you get your tarot deck, I like to make sure that all my cards are facing up before I do a reading. I've already checked that all these are facing upright. The reason is that when cards are reversed, they get a sort of special meaning, and it's kind of a negative meaning usually when a card is reversed. And I'm not saying that reversals, some tarot readers don't read them. I do, but a reversal is a special thing. So if I make sure that all my cards are facing upright, and if they get reversed, it's because something got tweaked in the energy. Something got, get a little tick, right? And that's an important thing that I'm going to read, right? But it's not happening all the time. It's a special thing. So that's why I make sure all my cards are facing up, okay? And then the next thing you really need to do is to get to know your cards. I'm going to go through all of the cards in this lesson, but you also need to really look at your cards. Look at all the details. Nothing's by accident in this card. Let me pick one for you. See, here's the Seven of Swords. All right, so what do we notice about the Seven of Swords? Well, he's carrying these swords. Look how he's holding them. He's holding them by the blades. Is that smart? I don't feel like it is. He's got some swords sticking in the ground that has meaning. Some are in his hands. Behind him here, there's like some circus tents going on. Look at his facial expression. Look at what he's wearing. Everything has meaning in the card. And some things will stand out more to you to tell your story when you're reading a certain kind of story, and then other things will stand out to you when you're reading a different kind of story. So all the cards mean a lot of things, and you need to really know them and really see the picture and feel the picture in order to be a good tarot reader. It's not just what some book tells you a card means. It's not just what I tell you a card means. It's what you're picking up from the card, okay? So we lay the cards out in a way that tells a story, because remember I said we're trying to tell a story with tarot. We're trying to tell a story. So my favorite kind of reading to do, my favorite kind of spread to do is called the Celtic Cross. The first card in the Celtic Cross represents the person's general energy. If you're reading for yourself, it's your general energy. If you're reading for somebody else, it's their general energy. And before you start, you need to shuffle. I shuffle this way, and then I shuffle this way, and I'm making sure that I'm not creating reversals. Reversals might happen, but I don't create them. If a card pops out, that card is important. If a card flips itself over, that card is important. We're going to read that card if it happens. It's not happening now because I'm just teaching a reading, but it will happen a lot when you are asking a question. Your energy will come through and flip over cards. Yes, it does. If you don't believe that, then just noticing what cards you notice matters. If you don't notice them, then they don't matter. If you do notice them, then they do, because that's what the self is doing. It's speaking to you. Okay? So to do the Celtic Cross, I turn over my first card. But this is interesting because I'm teaching and I want to actually do a reading while I'm teaching. So I'm going to do this card just as the general energy. For generally, I'm reading for whoever's watching this video right now. So I'm going to address the person as you. So I'm not going to read for myself right now. Ooh, look what I got. Something fell out. All right, so some cards fell out. We're going to start with those, okay? So I got the Nine of Swords. Take a look at that card. That's a doozy, right? That's a doozy. Got the Nine of Swords, okay? And then I got the Justice. The Justice. So these came out together. But my sense is that this one is crossing this one. So we have the general energy, and then the next card I do is what's crossing the person, right? So here we go. We got Nine of Swords here, and it's being crossed by the Justice. It's being challenged by Justice. So this is a person this person has been up all night. This person has many, many anxieties. The Suit of Swords often represents communication. It can represent like cruelty, okay? Each of these swords that's hanging on the wall, the swords are hanging on the wall, and that's putting an imprint on this person, keeping this person up at night. That's what's going on here. This person's been up at night, having anxieties, sleepless nights, right? And why? Why? What's the challenge? The challenge is the Justice, right? So if you can look, that's a Major Arcana card. Remember I said that if it's Major Arcana, that means that it's a major event. It's a major life event, right? So this person is being challenged by Justice. This could be a legal problem. This could be a feeling that they did something wrong. We say in tarot, take it as it resonates. You'll hear the YouTube tarot readers say that all the time. That means if it sounds right to you, if it feels like it's your story, then it is. If it doesn't, forget it. okay? The next card I'm going to put down is down here in the subconscious, right? This is my subconscious. Ooh, I got the Tower. This is a difficult reading, guys. This is a tough reading. The Tower is a tough card, okay? But this is what is in the person's subconscious, okay? The Tower, okay? Now I've got the conscious mind up top. This is my person, right? This is my person. This is what's crossing my person. This is what's in their mind. You can think of this as being in their mind, and you can think of this as being in their heart, or you can think of this as being on the surface, and you can think of this as being down below, the deep stuff. So on the surface, we've got the Chariot, right? And down below, we've got the Tower. We've got a lot of major arcanas here, right? These are both major arcana, right? Back here, I'm going to look and see my person, and I look and see the person there? Whatever is behind the person on this picture, that's their recent past, right? So she is not facing, she's facing that way. So this is her recent past. And we got the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands means fast movement, text messages, ideas, fast ideas coming in. Lots of times it represents the internet. We got the near future coming up. Oh, this person is going from getting a message, having a lot of anxiety about it right here with the Nine of Swords, and then in their near future, it's disappointment, okay? We have the Five of Cups. This guy is looking at the past. These are the 3 cups that have been spilled, and he's not paying attention to the 2 cups behind him, okay? So we went from getting a message, feeling a lot of anxiety about it, feeling maybe like you did the wrong thing, like you made a bad choice, and because it's a major arcana, maybe it's something that can't be taken back. And then in our near future, we've got the Five of Cups, okay? So this is a basic Celtic cross, right? But I'm going to show you the next piece after you read this part. You read this part first, all right? So down here, we had the Tower. I don't know if I told you the Tower is like when you've been building something, you've been working on something, but it was not based on something good. It's like a house of cards, and now that house of cards is falling. That's usually what the Tower means. It's something that's shocking. It's like lightning. It's like thunder. It like takes apart your life, okay? And then here in our conscious mind, we have the Chariot, which is balancing 2 forces in order to move forward. Okay, so that's what this person wants. They have good energy in themselves to move forward, but something happened here in their environment that has created a lot of upset. And I don't know who this reading is for. Maybe it's for you. Take it as it resonates. But that's what's going on here. So now after we do this basic Celtic cross, I come to the side and I have 4 cards that I lay out here. I'm just going to move my candle so I can put down my 4 cards. The first one is self. Okay, I've got the Hangman for self. Okay. The second one is environment, also home. Okay, got the 3 of Pentacles. All right, next we have fears or desires, depending on whether it's a good card or not a good card. Fears or desires. Got Temperance, balance. Okay, we want to balance things out. Okay, and our final card up on the top here, we got the 9 of Swords. That's our outcome. I'm sorry, 8 of Swords, sorry. 8 of Swords is our outcome, and 8 of Swords is when you are in a self-imposed prison, okay? Sometimes if it's paired with something else, it can mean a real prison, but I don't think that's what we've got going on here. This person, whoever this reading is for, is taking a break to try to get a new perspective. That's what the Hangman is about. Sometimes it's self-sacrifice, but the other cards don't really support that right here. It's taking a break to get some perspective. After all, we're in a real bad place here with our 9 of Swords energy, sleepless nights, we're getting crossed by the justice. It's like, you know, we need a break, right? In the environment, though, this is good. This is the home. People want to work together. 3 of Pentacles is about working together. It also means sometimes applying for a job. If somebody is looking for a job, this is like about making an application. And then here in our desires or fears, we have Temperance. So we want to balance things out. We want to bring balance, but this is our final outcome card up here. And this is not a great card to have for your final outcome. This is saying that this person is holding themselves back. They're not really going to their full potential. This person's not in a tightly bound situation. The story behind this card is that this woman could get free. The blindfold is not tight. Those ties are not tight. She can just lift up her arms and get out of there. All those swords are in the ground. But they're not really keeping her in a prison. She could just kind of walk forward and be out of it. It's a self-imposed kind of prison, okay? It's in her own head, basically, is what it comes down to, all right? So now, once you do this, sometimes you need some clarification. When I do this reading, I think I know what it's about, but the Eight of Wands is a card that often needs clarification because it can mean a lot of different things. Whatever it means, it's moving fast. It's something that's fast. Right? But let's try to clarify the Eight of Wands. And I don't clarify every single card. A lot of readers do. I do not. I clarify where and when I need to. If something doesn't make sense to me, I clarify. And you can use the same deck to clarify. You can also use a second deck. Ooh. All right. That was a lot. But I did get 3 cards turn over when I was trying to shuffle. So what did I get here? Okay. I was asking for clarification on the Eight of Wands. And I got the Star. I got the Nine of Wands. And I got the Page of Cups. All right, so I got to look and see. This is what I'm doing as a reader. I'm looking at these 3 cards and I'm looking for the story. I'm looking for the story that connects them. How does this make sense? Well, here we have the Page of Cups. He is, or she, Page of Cups especially is, either gender, especially, but all of the court cards could really be either gender. But it's a court card. A lot of times this is referring to another person in the life of the person that you're doing the reading for. It's referring to somebody else. The Page of Cups as a person is a person who's very playful, innocent, somewhat of a dreamer, kind of head in the clouds kind of person, but also has a lot of love but wants to receive a lot of love too. Sort of an immature love offer is what I would say about the Page of Cups. And remember, we had messages, right? So I'd say this could be message of an immature love offer. Then we have the Nine of Wands. This person is protecting themselves. They are also holding on very tight to what they have. And then we have the Star. The Star is one of our angel cards. This is an angel here. This angel is balancing things out, is taking from one place and putting it to another, into the world, into the whole world. It's a balancing force. The Star is a very positive card. Very positive. You can wish upon a star. That comes to mind. So it looks to me like the message that came in, there's a wish. There's a wish. There's a love offer. There's a wish for love. There's somebody holding on tight to their past, possibly, or they're protecting themselves. They've been wounded. If you look at this card, he's got a bandage around his head. He's been wounded. This card is sometimes described as the wounded warrior. And then you've got this angel here who's balancing things out, who's bringing energy, who's actually creating rivers and lakes with this little picture that she's got here, because this is an angel. This is divine. And that's all clarifying the Eight of Wands. So you would basically, as a reader, you would talk about this stuff. You would talk about the story that you see, and then you feel the person that you're with. You feel, is this connecting for the person, or is it not? Whatever's not connecting, you're just letting it right go. Whatever's connecting, you're continuing that story. That's how you read tarot cards. That's how you read for yourself. That's how you read for others. Whatever connects to you, that's what you kind of hold on to. And then whatever doesn't, you just let it go. And that's how you do a reading.